First, we're going to start with priming our face. These are some of my favorite primers, but today I'm using the Hourglass Veil Primer. You can get this at Sephora. Just go ahead and take a couple of swipes of this primer across your face. Grab your favorite brush. This is mine. It's an e.l.f. brush. It was $3. Now you're just going to go ahead and blend all of this into your skin. Now that we're primed, we are ready for foundation. NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation has been my absolute favorite. I use these two different colors and I mix them together to get the perfect shade because one is too dark and the other is way too light. So I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to dip it into both of my foundations and mix them. Now I'm just going to blend this into my face. I blend this into my ears, into my neck, into my hairline. I want to make sure that I give myself that really pretty airbrushed look because we're going for that perfect skin. So I am going to build this up a little more. It is a medium to full coverage foundation. You can also thin this down with your moisturizer. You can thin it out with a beauty blender sponge if you get it wet. This is a really versatile product and it's my absolute favorite. I recommend this for long wear, those days where you're not going to have time for touch-ups, so you need something you can just put on and wear without having to worry about it. As you can see now, my skin is glowing. I love the way this looks. It is absolutely perfect. So now we are going to move on to contour. For contour, I really love the Laura Mercier Contour Palette. It's my favorite cream contour because it glides on really easily and it's very blendable. I'm using contour number 1, which is the lightest shade. I'm using my iBeauty brush that I got from Marshall's. I like to be very detailed as I'm contouring, so this brush is perfect. I like to carve out my cheekbones, and I also like to carve out my jaw. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to do my lips, my forehead, and my nose. I like to keep my lines very small and tightly lined because I think the smaller the brush, the less messy your lines are. So when contouring your nose, make sure you're keeping your lines very straight and you take your time with this part. Because if you contour your nose wrong, it can go really, really badly and it's not going to look as good as you were hoping. So as you see, I'm keeping all my lines very tight. And now we are ready to blend. Take your foundation brush that you were just using in an upward round motion. Go ahead and blend your contour lines. So the reason we are blending upwards and not downwards, as you can see, is because we want to give ourselves a mini facelift. We don't want to give ourselves a face down, because if you contour downwards, it's going to make your face look really sallow and you're going to look very aged. So we're going to blend that lines across my lips, across my jawline. Make sure that you don't have any remnants of contour left on your face. So the whole purpose of contour is to enhance what we already have. We're not trying to put something there that we don't have because that just won't work. So blend those lines on your nose. Keep that straight. Now we are perfectly contoured. Now for a little bit of concealer. I love Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Aqua Concealer because it is a full coverage. So I'm going to take my shades Fair and Light Medium. I'm going to take Fair, which is the lightest one, and I'm going to put a couple of dots under my eyes where I feel I look tired. I have been up for 12 hours, so don't judge. Now I'm going to take the color Light Medium, and I'm going to go over the light color Fair, and I'm going to go down my nose with that Light Medium. And as you can see, I'm almost creating a little sunset effect on my forehead and a triangle under my eyes. So now you're going to take your Fix Plus spray from MAC in your beauty blender, get that sponge wet, and go ahead and start to blend. As you can see, the reason we're using two different colors is because we want to keep the lightest shade right under our eyes to hide any dark circles. And we want that second shade to help blend and marry the colors of our foundation, our contour, and our highlight concealer. I hate when people use just the one color concealer. If you only have one color, that's okay. Just don't go too crazy because we don't want it to look whited out in pictures. So we get that flashback and it looks like you left your bake on for too long. It's really just because you're using a concealer that is too pale. So make sure you blend out any creases, get a little bit of that leftover concealer on your eyelids. And now we're ready for our next step. Now we are ready to bake. No, I'm not talking about cake. So go ahead and take your Beauty Blender sponge and dip it into your Laura Mercier translucent powder. Create a triangle where we already highlighted. So where we highlighted with concealer, we are going to highlight with this translucent powder. So make sure you go down the sides of your nose. Don't go past where we contoured. Go under your cheeks. Carve out those cheekbones. As you can see, I'm keeping my lines very straight. So take whatever's left and kind of go over the areas with your foundation that we haven't touched with contour or concealer. Now take a short shadow brush and dip into your Laura Mercier translucent powder and make a very straight line down your nose. This is super important. Keeping that line straight, not going outside the lines of contour because we don't want to make our nose look crooked and we don't want the sides to look muddy. Now for bronzer. My favorite bronzer is the Hourglass Luminous Bronze Light. This is the lighter shade of the two. I'm obsessed with it because it has a little bit of shimmer to it. It's not matte, obviously, but it's not super sparkly. I'm going to take this little shadow brush with a fluffy tip, and I'm going to start bronzing the side of my nose and following the lines where I've already contoured. And remember not to go outside of the lines of highlight and not go outside the lines of where you contoured. So I like to start with the small details first to get those out of the way. I like to take a little bit under the tip of my nose because from certain picture angles, it really does make a difference. Again, we're going under our lips because we want to have that pouty look. And we're going to go right in our Cupid's bow. And next we're going to take our It Cosmetics bronzing brush and we're going to carve out our cheeks again. Again, going within the lines of where we've already contoured, staying within that area. Upward motions only to give ourselves that soft, supple looking cheek. And make sure you get it into your hairline so there's no separation of color. And along the jawline, keeping it straight. Right under the chin, make sure you're blending into your neck. And again, get those ears. Going around your forehead where we had those contour lines before. Again, push it into your hairline. I really like to bronze my neck because I do get spray tan, so sometimes the neck area for me gets the craziest since I don't spray my face. And now we're ready to wipe away all of that baking. Just take a fluffy round brush and just flick it away. Set your eyes. And now we're ready to move on. Our next step is going to be blush. My favorite blush is from MAC. It is called Peachy Keen. It is a sheer tone blush, so it is a buildable blush, but I like to keep it light for this look. We just want to accentuate the apples of our cheeks, so go ahead and take your blush brush and dip into the color in little round oval motions on the apples of your cheek. Apply the blush and build it up to where you want to be able to see it, but not to the point where it's too striking and it takes over your face. Now it's time for the eyes. We are going to start with our brows. My favorite brow pencil is the Brow Definer from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I use the shade Taupe because I am a blonde. I could use the shade Blonde, but it's a little too light, and I like my eyebrows to match the roots of my hair, so that way it's not too much of a difference, but also so I'm able to see them. So as you can see, I brush my brow hair downwards, and I start from the top of my brow. I like to create this shape first because that is the straightest shape for me and it's the easiest to start with. And then I brush my hair up and then I go underneath. So I really like this pencil because it glides on. It's very easy to use. I like how the tip is shaped because you can give a nice little flick at the end and it's not too penciled in and it's more of a natural look. I don't like Instagram brows. I do like my brows to be nicely defined, but still natural looking. So as you can see, I'm filling in the front of my brows. And make sure you go back in and you fill any spaces. I like to check my brows from multiple angles to make sure it's filled in all the way. So we got a sassy brow and a not so sassy brow. So brush those hairs down on the other side and go from the top. Just follow along the hairline. Create that nice little winged out edge. Brush them up and then go from underneath. Fill in along the way. And then once you get towards the inner corner, you can take this brow pencil and you can measure it to the side of your nose and create where you're supposed to be marking. That's what I like to do. It really does help so I don't go too far in, but I don't stay too far out of where my brows should be. And I will do another tutorial about brow mapping. But for now, y'all just wanted to know what I was using. So this is it. I swear by it. It's been my favorite. I used to use the Brow Wiz, but I really like the Brow Definer a lot better. So now our brows are done. So now it's time for lips. I always start with my lip liners first. These are my favorite ones from MAC. I'm going to start with the Pro Longwear lip liner. This is called Double Time. Pro Longwear is the best. It has a most amazing stay power. My lips can stay all day and I don't have to even touch them up. So I'm going to line my whole lip with Double Time. And I'm going to also fill in with this. I really like to base my lips with Pro Longwear. Again, it's the stay power, it's kiss proof, it's eat proof, it's drink proof. My lips do not move and people always ask me how I do it. I line my whole lip with lip liner and then I go over and I layer it with more lip liner and then I put on my lipstick and my lip gloss later. So this is a really beautiful neutral color. It is a little sticky and it's more of a matte. So for those girls who love matte, this is your new best friend. And those of you who may not like the matte look, that's okay. I'm going to gloss this up. Now we're going to take In Sync, which is a really bright baby pink, and we're going to go over the center of our lips and fan this out a little bit. We're going to go for an ombre effect. The reason we do this is because we want to give the effect of a full pouty look. Kylie Jenner lips are very in right now and I'm obsessed with them. So now we're going to take Boldly Bare and we are going to feather in from the outside. And just very gently line along the outer lips and feather in. Again, this is to create a fuller looking lip because needles are scary and we don't want injectables. So we can do this with makeup. Now we are ready for lipstick. I'm going to be using MAC lipstick in Honey Love. Go over your entire lip with this. Next, we're going to be using Jouer lip gloss in Ethereal. It's a really beautiful neutral gold with a little bit of sparkle in it. So very meticulously go over your lip with this and make sure you just go to the very outer edge of your lip to hide that lip liner. I don't want any of my lip liners showing through, so I make sure that this is where I hide and I bring it all in and make it all come together. Now it's time for mascara. My favorite one is Benefit's They're Real. This is like a cult classic of Benefit's collection of amazing products. But this one has been ranted and raved about for so long. I had to try it and I absolutely fell in love and I understood what the fuss was about. It really grabs along every single lash. I love that it really gives your lash that long, voluminous look. It doesn't dry out. I don't see any of the flakes. I don't like the fallout, so I don't have any problems with this mascara. I love the tip of it because you can get into the inner corner of your eye. And as you can see, I like to wiggle it back and forth, and then I like to swoop upwards. And then we're going to do the same thing to our bottom lashes. But seriously, this mascara is amazing. I think it's worth the $24, $22. Invest in a good mascara. So to finish our look today, we are using Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Opal. I'm applying this with my fingertips. I really want to push it into my skin. So we are just tapping it along our cheekbones and the very tops, exactly where we want to highlight, because again, we want carved out looking cheeks, so this is going to help. And then we're also going to put it down the bridge of my nose and a little bit on the tip as well. This is a buildable product. You can also use it anywhere. It's very versatile, so you can add this to your collarbone, to your shoulder. If you're competing in a pageant or you're going to be on stage, you can add it to your abs a little bit. Now we're going to take a shadow brush and we are going to put it in the inner corner of our eye and bring it under so we have that dewy look. Also help us look awake. And just bring it right under your brow bone to give it a little highlight. And now we are glowing.